I was watching a video recently about porn addiction, and there was a comment where someone claimed that how they got rid of their addiction and their problem was by actually fapping every day. They just did it as quickly as possible. They busted a nut as quickly as possible. And therefore, that guy got rid of his cravings. And I thought to myself, I wonder how much different my life would have been in my 20s. Because I first noticed that I had a problem with porn when I used to come home from work, from my first workplace. After hitting the gym, I came home and I only had a few hours of time, and I wanted to do something creative, specifically working on a mobile game or making digital art, which is something that I liked to do. But I had always procrastinated on things, homework at school, and then later on in life with the productive stuff, I always procrastinated. So it became like a combination of watching YouTube videos and watching porn, watching anime, watching Twitch streams. I stopped playing video games because I knew video games take so much time, so I stopped playing those. But with the YouTube videos and the porn, I thought to myself, hey, this is only gonna take 15 minutes, so I can do that before I do anything productive. So anyway, I would come back from work, I would shower, I would eat, and then I would realize I feel a bit anxious about doing anything productive. I feel tired. So tell myself, well, I'm just gonna watch one more YouTube video. I'm just gonna watch some porn. And it became this habit, pretty much, where I would watch pornography maybe half an hour to 1 hour, not too much to be honest, because at that time I would always bust a nut. I would always climax. So because at that time I had a habit of busting a nut, if I would watch porn, I would take it all the way to the end. I wouldn't, stretch it out. I wouldn't make it a long session. I wouldn't do any edging. So it wasn't actually that big of a problem. It's just that I noticed that I do it all the time. And because I did it all the time, I figured, it would be better if I just did the creative stuff instead of doing this. So I didn't like it. And therefore, I started to search the internet for is it normal and what to do if you find yourself consuming pornography every evening. And then I came across eventually the NoFap community. And it's kind of funny in hindsight. It's actually after that things got gradually worse and worse. And I didn't realize it until now, that I haven't had issues with porn for a long time. I think the reason why is frankly because my life has changed so dramatically. I have an external reason, which is my girlfriend. Not because it's this is a mistake people make. People think, I've heard these comments where people say, I do not want to get into a relationship before I fix my porn problem because I don't want to replace porn with a girlfriend. That's not what happens. That's not why it's easier for me to stay away from porn now. It's not because I have replaced something. It's because I care about another person. And it's I don't want to be a shitty version of myself. That's all it is. It's not that I have replaced porn with something or someone. It's just that I have an external reason to be a better person. And also, my life has changed to the extent that I'm busy 24/7. I have so many things going on. It's almost too many things. I experience stress occasionally because I don't know which one of all the things to do. But the thing is, I have so many things to do that I care about that it's been easier to stay away. But in any case, now in hindsight, when I saw that comment about somebody actually getting rid of the problem by fapping, I thought to myself and my past, I reflected on my past and I thought, my biggest problems with porn started when I found NoFap. And the reason is because I started to obsess over the streaks. I started to obsess over the retention. I started to obsess over not failing because, relapsing was always a failure and blah, blah, blah. Before that, I just cared about the lost time. I felt like instead of this half an hour to 1 hour of consuming porn, I could have done something creative. That's all I cared about. I didn't feel like I was the worst person in the world. I didn't feel like I'm a failure. Those thoughts and feelings came only after I discovered NoFap. And then what I started to do was, for whatever reason in my head, I thought it's better if I watch porn today, as long as I don't bust a nut, even if I touch myself, even if I edge, it's better than busting a nut. And that created this situation where I would have multiple days where I wouldn't bust a nut, and that would increase my cravings. And then I would have multiple days where I wouldn't even watch anything or touch myself, and then I would relapse and I would have higher and bigger cravings than ever. And then because I made it so, and then because I thought that I'm a bad person, I'm a failure, etc., if I relapse, it somehow made it worse. It somehow made me kind of self-harm. It's difficult to put into words, but I created an identity of an addict. I didn't have that before. So all these things happened after I found NoFap. And I just thought to myself, if I just kept going, or if I found real help, something else, something more, something based on my personal problems, myself, me as a person, rather than an online forum and community, because the internet is filled with all these NoFap powers that you unlock. These videos about the NoFap powers that you unlock if you you were able to do semen retention for 30 days, you will be Superman. When in my experience, none of those things do anything for me. I've had a very long time of semen retention, 2 months, I think. And I've been through those things and they never affected me at all. Those never affected me at all. The only effect is that after busting a nut, you feel lethargic for a couple of hours or the rest of the day, and that's it. But having the retention itself never had any effect on me. So I created this demon out of the addiction. I created this identity of an addict, all because of the NoFap communities. When in reality, and that actually made me even led me to find the gooning and take part in that. And I just started to edge longer and longer, and things got worse and worse, and things got very fucking bad. I don't even want to go into detail how bad things got towards the end of it, but things got really fucking bad. And it's all because, and I know NoFap is about not touching yourself, but for whatever reason, for a lot of people on NoFap, you just think like, well, I can watch some porn, right? And I can touch myself a bit. As long as I don't bust a nut, it's not really fapping. You come up with those excuses. And then I would have like 1 week without busting a nut while watching porn. And my cravings would, like make me insane, basically. And make me obsessed with that material. So anyway, this video is long enough already. Let everyone know in the comments what you think. What is your experience and what do you think? I just feel like, I don't know if the retention and the NoFap is actually the answer, because life is a lot easier if you do bust a nut occasionally. And I know that for a lot of people, if they start touching themselves, they will become aroused, and then they will watch the porn because they got aroused. But then on the other hand, if you do like that guy in the comments where you are able to touch yourself and just do it so quick, you don't have your phone with you, you don't have your computer with you, so you can't watch any porn, so then you just bust a nut without any porn, and you do that every single day, you might just actually be better off that way. I don't know because I never get the chance to do that, but it just made me wonder. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe if you want to listen to topics on, kind of self-improvement-ish topics, I suppose. Thank you anyway, even if you don't sub. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.